Hey, welcome back to True-Moto-Resto, and in this video we're going to be painting a GS1000 Suzuki gas tank, tailpiece and fender. It's going on a Wes Cooley race replica. Stay tuned. So like I said, a friend of mine is creating a bike like this, Wes Cooley replica, and so what I'm going to be doing is painting the tailpiece, a tank. Though this one has a chrome fender, he's got, which he does have, he's also got a race fender for it, which is going to get painted as well. So let's take a look at the bodywork, and we'll see what we got ahead of us. So here's the tank. Looks to be in pretty decent shape, and so this is going to be red. We're going to be getting rid of the pinstripe, but I am going to try and preserve this white section in here, and I'm also going to try to preserve some of this black outline. So basically what we want is white here, black outline, and then the red to start where the pinstriping is. So that's going to be the objective. Same thing with the tailpiece. I'm going to preserve the white that's inset in there as well. And then this is a fiberglass front fender. So that's going to get painted red. And then at the same time, this is also going to get painted as well. I think this is a this is a TZR front fender. He wants it painted in the same red that I did the TZR bodywork for him. So yeah, so that'll be the objective. I think by and large, all the bodywork is in good shape. There's not really going to be much repair that I can tell. The biggest challenge is going to be removing the pinstripe and still being able to preserve some of the black around here without having to kind of repaint it. So we'll see how that works out. So on this GS bodywork, what I've done is I've sanded all of the pinstriping off. I tried to get it off with a razor blade if it was faster, but it was not going to come off that way. So I sanded that off with 180 on my DA, and then I've gone over the whole tank in 320, and starting to do the same thing with the tail section. Some of these spots I'm just going to do these by hand, and then sanded this fiberglass fender, and I still have to do that fender as well. But I'm obviously not going to record hours of sanding. Nobody needs to see that, but that's where I am. I've taped off the white stripe. There's a decal behind here that's white, and I've also tried to preserve a certain amount of the black. So the intent with this is once it's all been painted red, the stripe on the side will be basically a white stripe with a black pinstripe around it that I've tried to preserve from the original black. So my buddy is looking for that kind of a look to go on his Wes Cooley race replica. So that's what we're going to try and do. And the same sort of thing is going to happen here with this rear fender. So that's all been taped off. So it's ready to go to paint. And we'll hit the booth shortly. All right, we're all set up again. It's gonna be red, 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 white. So I'm doing the white fender first. I've kind of got it on a portable stand here. So once the white is on there, the base coat, that can come out of the booth while I do the red, and then it can come back in when I get ready to do clear. So just got one very light mist coat on there because the Valspar paint that I use tends to like to fisheye if you go too heavy on the first coat. So, but it's about a third of the price of the other stuff. So, all right, so this is the third coat. I did one light coat, like really like a mist coat because of the way this paint tends to lay down, and this is the third full coat. So there's a couple of spots I'm not happy with yet, so it's going to need one more coat, and then we'll move on to the clear. And I bought 1 pint of paint to do this, and I ran out, so I had to run into town and get another another pint. So it seems to be becoming a common theme with this Valspar paint, that it just doesn't cover anywhere near as well as the Chromax paint. So if I use this again, I'm just gonna have to keep that in mind. I actually am gonna use this again on the KTM because I've already bought the paint for it, but I think it's gonna make sense for me to pick up an extra pint of the dark blue paint for that KTM, because I think I might run out. There's quite a bit of blue to cover, so and then maybe get a black primer before I start painting on that as well. So anyway, we'll give this one more coat of red and then we'll move on to clear. All right, so there's the red all painted. I peeled off the tape where I masked it, so now we've got the original white decal there, and then the area that I masked off, so the black line is around that, which is what my buddy wanted. That looks like it should be just fine. So I'm gonna let this flash off for a little bit longer before I start throwing clear coat at it, and we'll bring the other white fender in, but generally speaking, she looks pretty good. Well, there we are. 2 coats of clear. Everything looks really good. There we go. That's the bodywork for the Wes Cooley race replica, all finished. Come back tomorrow morning, pick this up after it's had time to cure, and we're good to go. All right, so just in preparation for finishing up this tank, there is one little spot in here, I don't know if you can really pick it up on the video or not, where the clear coat didn't go on quite as thick as I would like, or didn't flow out quite as well. So either I didn't overlap it enough, or maybe I was kind of slightly too far away, or whatever the case was. But this was my first paint job where my buddy was not there to give me either full supervision or set up the gun or whatever. So I did everything by myself, and all in all, it came out pretty well. And although I went around everything again to see that I had good coverage, I think I had the tank mounted up quite high on that box, and it was kind of hard to, not necessarily to get up there with the paint gun, but to really see how well that clear was laying down. So what I'm going to do is, you can see, I kind of see a little bit of orange peel there. If you look where the light is, you can kind of see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish that up. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my DA, and on here is a 3000 grit foam pad. Like this is, it's a foam sanding pad with a foam backer on the DA. And I'm going to wet it all down. Just give that a light sanding, and then I'm going to use my my buffer and buffing compound and buff that up nice and smooth and shiny. So yeah, it doesn't take very much on the DA. So yeah, and you got to be careful you don't kind of stay in one place too long, because you don't want to burn through the clear. And I've done it by hand before with like 2000 up to 3000, and it does take a while. So then I thought I'd give it a go with the foam pad and the 3000 on the DA, and so far it seems to do all right. Again, I just got to make sure that I don't stay in one place too long, a little bit at a time. And I think that's got all of the, it wasn't very much, but it was enough that it was bugging me. And I don't want it to go back to my buddy unless it's nice and smooth. All right, so here's the polisher. You may have seen me use it before. There's nothing special about it. It's just a basic Simonized multi-speed polisher. And I could be using a foam head on it, but this has kind of worked fine for me. So I'm just going to wet the pad down, and then I'm going to put a little bit of this compound on here. This is a stage 1 cutting compound, and then we'll go over that, buff it up, and then we'll see how it looks. All right, so I'm almost there. This is kind of taking me a little bit longer, just probably, I'm guessing, because this is not a very aggressive type of buffing pad. So that's fine. I'd rather be less aggressive on this sort of stuff than too aggressive. But anyway, yeah, it's getting there. The shine's coming back to it. And yeah, looking good. The one thing I have to be conscious of too is once I've clear coated and painted the tank, it's got to sit around for like a couple of days. You don't want to be doing this kind of thing too soon, because then you make a mess of it. The clear coat's not hard enough, so a minimum of 1 full day drying, preferably 2 or 3. Well, there it is, all ready to go back to my buddy's place, and he can start putting his Cooley replica together. Came up pretty nice. All right, that's gonna wrap up for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.